some of the things I'm talking about. We're going to do Rock and Roll Friday. I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to exhaust you. I want to have fun today on Rock and Roll Friday. I don't have fun. I'm not a fun guy. In fact, I never have fun. You have any fun? What's fun? That's a 60s thing. Professors used to say, have fun. Choose a profession that's fun. There are no professions that are fun. Unless you're an nymphomaniac and become a hooker. There are no professions that are fun. It's that simple. I don't mean to offend anybody, Jim. I hope that wasn't offensive to families listening. But what is fun about work? Work is the opposite of fun. I mean, fun could be skiing. Fun could be golfing. Fun could be tennis. I don't play tennis. I don't golf, and I don't ski. All I do is worry and work day and night. And let me tell you something. If worry could kill you, I would have been dead when I was 6. I've been worrying since I'm about 5 years old. I don't think worry is that dangerous. I think trying to avoid worrying will kill you faster than worrying itself. I really mean that. I remember years ago in the 70s when I was having very bad insomnia because of the social engineers who were blocking me from positions that I had applied for, which I was highly qualified for. They only wanted unqualified individuals to take these jobs. I had young children. I couldn't make a living in the area I wanted to work in, and even though I killed myself to get the right degrees, I couldn't sleep at night. And I remember reading a self-help book. I forget which one it was, but it said more people have died from worrying about not sleeping than actually not sleeping. So they said, when you're up, why don't you do the following? Like, look at the stars, get a star book, walk around the block, write a letter. It was amazing what you could do in the middle of the night. And then, of course, that plus herbal tea, mainly passion flower herbal tea, and I got over my insomnia. But it's the same thing with worrying. Worrying per se is not harmful. It's worrying that you're worrying that can be harmful. In other words, then you start saying to me, oh, I'm worrying all the time, which we now call anxiety. You have to understand anxiety is part of living. And the shrinks have made you think that anxiety is an abnormal event in your life. Now, I don't mean killing anxiety. That's different. But a slow degree of electrical current of worry is very healthy for you. It'll motivate you to get off your behind and go run around the block or do this or do that. It's a motivational force. So I guess I'm drifting into self-help now and being a life coach. That's what they call that today. Life coach. The country is now filled with frauds who have no credentials whatsoever in anything, and they're making fortunes as life coaches. How does this work? I don't understand. But when you consider that psychiatry per se sometimes doesn't work or often doesn't work, look at what it's done for Woody Allen after 70 years of daily therapy. It hasn't helped him at all. So, I mean, what's the difference if you have 8 MDs and PhDs and can't help anyone? Or if you have no degrees and you can help someone, you see? This is the Savage Nation. It's Friday. It's Open Mic to Mike Friday. Any topic is fair game. We have great sound, great music, great stories, and great me. I'll be right back. Be here or be nowhere.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
The Savage Nation is sponsored by Swiss America, the only company I trust with my financial future. Call 800-289-2646 or SwissAmerica.com. Take off our dunce caps of worry. Sitting in the hot seat of the Savage Nation. Believe me, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. 22 years, you do something, you know what I'm saying? This is when I'm happy. Most of the time, I'm happy here. 21 hours a day, I'm miserable. But 3 hours a day, I fly like an eagle. 21 hours a day, it's a nightmare for me. Being human is very hard. I mean, really it is. Just think of any animal on Earth in the wild. You think they're having fun? That's what life really is like for us, but we don't know. We try to pretend it isn't. Here's the thing. See, I love to study animals. I'm an ethologist at heart. I've always been an ethologist. And you watch animal life, whether it be gorillas protecting their young or a male gorilla trying to seek dominance with other male gorillas and eventually being knocked off his perch and he has to run away or die, right? Or you watch chimpanzees feeding alongside impalas on the savannah in Africa, and they normally are cooperative with each other, both listening for predators together, and then all of a sudden there's a scream and one of the chimps goes ape and kills one of the impalas out of nowhere, and the impalas realize that they were being set up the chimp was untrustworthy. That's much like life in the human world that we live in. But we try to bury that under the veneers of civility that we have developed over millennia. And okay, so that's how we get through life. But underneath it all, life is a struggle, and life is vicious, and people will cut you to ribbons if you give them the chance. And I don't mean in the streets necessarily with a knife in your back or a box cutter on Broadway in Manhattan. I am talking about business, and even down to the merest level of the social world we live in. It's translated down to the social world that we live in. This the sense of the predatory and the victim, right? The predator and prey. So we all feel that, and unfortunately, there are people who feel it more intensely than others. And if you allow that into your consciousness, let us say too acutely, you become very, very nervous. You become very, very anxious, and you could become mentally ill. And so you can laugh at mentally ill people. You can say schizophrenics are to be discarded by society. But, you know, the schizophrenic is just sort of a hairbreadth away from any one of us. In many cases, they're just more tuned in to what is real. Did you hear what I just said? And so this is the conundrum from all of us, and Freud wrote about it in Civilization and Its Discontents. Now, I don't know what this has to do with Donald Trump or Barack Obama. Probably nothing. But it has to do with nothing, which is why I'm talking about it today on Open Mic to Mike Friday Radio.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.